Hello and welcome to our webinar today, which is all about how to kickstart your new business. This webinar is designed for people that are looking to start their own business or recently start their own business, and in particular our Blam partners who have got a marketing business selling websites and apps. My name is Grant Stain and I'm co-founder of Blam, and my history is that I've been building businesses for many years now. It's probably getting on for about 15 years. So I've got a lot of experience in business startups and building businesses and selling businesses, etc. I've been involved in businesses as diverse as supercar experience businesses, marketing companies, overseas property, websites and app building in particular, all the way through to things like pubs and breweries. So got a lot of experience, and when I'm setting up a new business, I use this process, which I like to call my tent peg process, which helps me to remind me of all the different parts of business and all the bits and elements that need setting up and testing and sorting out as we look at a business and set it up and build it into something that is going to be successful. So let's get right kick-started straight into the first section of building our own business. And if we look at this, I've put together a mind map. This mind map is something we send out to all of our Blam partners when they first set up, but I want to run through this process and just show you how it can be utilized to help remind you of all the different things that you need when you're setting up. So in particular, I want to start with your vision, which we can see up here in the top left-hand corner. Absolutely vital is that you understand what it is that you want to do with your business. And I urge you to begin by starting with a vision board. Now, a vision board can be a really exciting thing to get started with because it helps you be really creative and really think through why it is that you want to run your own business and what you hope to achieve with it and what that is going to give you in terms of your lifestyle, your day-to-day life. So if we look here, you know, the way it's going to affect your family and your home, the way it's going to affect your income, the way it's going to affect your lifestyle and the rewards that that's going to give you, your ambition and your targets and the reason that you want to do it, what you want to achieve with it. And it all comes down to your why. So, you know, why is it that you want to run your own business? What's the reason that you're going into this this arena of being your own boss, and how are you going to achieve that? So get this all down, and as I say, I urge you to do a vision board, which can be a really inspiring thing that you can put in a prominent place in your home or in your office, somewhere where you can see it. It can inspire you, and in the tough times, you look at your vision and it reminds you why you're putting in all the effort. It inspires you to take that action and keep on doing what you're doing in order to generate the success that you're going to deserve when you put in all of the effort. So stage one is get that vision board sorted. And then if we just zoom out a little bit, you'll see I use a mind map because, as you can see, there's lots of stuff on this mind map, and this is, you know, this isn't even going into too much detail. This is an overview of all the elements that it takes to build the foundations of a business. And by putting things into a mind map, you can see how everything is interconnected, and that can really help you to make the transition from one stage to the next as you're building your business and you're building in the foundations. And also, I find it can help to make it feel a little bit less overwhelming. There's a lot of things that go into building your own business and building your business from day one. And when you write it in a list format, you can look at it and you can just think, crikey, how am I ever going to get any of this achieved? There's so much to do. But if you take it one step at a time and you use this as your sort of inspiration, you can attack each one of these lozenges and get through the different stages of building your own business in order to make sure that you've got solid foundations. And as I said, I call this my tent peg process, because these are the tent pegs that are going to stop your tent blowing away. These are if you've got these nailed down, you've got a solid foundation to your business. So let's look at the sales model first of all, because the sales model really is the key to what you do and what you sell. And the first stage of the sales model I would urge you to think about is your niche, or if you're over in America, your niche, as they call it over there. So think about what is it that you do in your business that can be drilled down to a particular niche. So in terms of Bland Partners who sell websites and apps, we often encourage our partners to think about what is it that you can become the expert in. What is it that you can become the authority in? So, for example, we've got Bland Partners that specialise in selling to restaurants or takeaways. We've got Bland Partners that specialise in selling to football clubs, to accountants, to solicitors. And by becoming the authority in a particular niche, once you've got those few customers under your belt and you start understanding their business and seeing how your products and services can help them in particular, you become an expert and you become a go-to person. And that's when things can really start to snowball. There's often the temptation when you set up in business to try and be all things to all people, but you can end up spreading yourself too thin, particularly in terms of the way you market yourself. So when you actually go for a niche, it helps you to drill down and it helps you to target a particular segment, and that makes you more effective. And ultimately, it makes you become more desirable to that particular marketplace because you're the specialist in that area. So give some thought to your niche and how you're gonna leverage a particular marketplace. And then think about your price. Now, we always encourage our partners to think about their offering or their service in terms of the value rather than the price. But you do need to define your price. But I would urge you to think about what is the real value of what you're selling as opposed to what is the actual cost. And when we talk about that in terms, for example, of a website, now, what is the real value of a website to a business? Now, in most cases, the value of a website could be, tens, not hundreds of thousands of pounds, because it's the first point of contact that most people make with a business. And if that website is not doing a good job, it could lose tens and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds, just on that basis. So think about the value that you're adding rather than what the price is, and don't undersell yourself, because when you offer a good product and a good service, people expect to pay a good price for that. And if you can show the value of it as opposed to the price, it can be key. But I put a little calculator there as well, because you do need to think about how you're going to take the money. So it's all, we're in business to make money, and we need to make sure that we understand that when it comes to actually taking the money, we know how we're going to do it. Do you take money? Is it a card machine? Do you take cash? Is it check? Is it backs? Do you invoice on 30 days? Do you want the money up front? Do you do part payments? Think about all the different ways that you're going to take your money. And whether or not you want a residual income, what is your revenue model? Have you got a residual income model? Is it, do you sell your products and services as a one-off? Are there any upsells? What other products have you got to sell? Because ultimately, when we're talking about your sales model is there to make sales. It's there to make money. You need to make sure you can take the money. You need to make sure you understand what your revenue model is, because ultimately that's how you're going to achieve your rewards, your lifestyle, and your vision. It's all about taking the money. So give that a lot of thought and make sure you've got it nailed down. Make sure it's fully understood, and make sure that you've got the processes in place. If we move ourselves over then to this side of the page where we've got learn your products. This is sort of stage 2, when you've understood your sales model and you've understood the way that you're going to sell, the price you're going to sell at, and the way that you intend to achieve your targets and ambitions as a result of those sales. You need to get into the process of understanding about those products and services and understanding all there is to know about them. So this is something that you can't be short. There's no shortcut to this. It is hard graft, make no mistake. You want to become a really good salesperson, and when we're in business, make no mistake, we are all salespeople when we're in business, even if we're not the only ones going out there selling. When it's your own business, you always want to be selling it. So learn your products. Take the time to understand your products, so that when you're out speaking to people and you're practicing about what it is that you're selling, and you're understood about the way that you present it and the way that you talk to people about it, you gradually become more and more confident, you become more and more adept. And we call this process the conscious competence ladder. And you'll see there on the side of the learn your products lozenge, it's also attached to your sales model. The conscious competence ladder is actually another webinar that we're running in the not too distant future. And it's all about the way that as you become more competent and more practiced with your product and service, you become more confident, you become better at what you do, and ultimately we want to get to the point where we are unconsciously competent. In other words, it doesn't matter what anybody says to you, what anybody asks you about your product and service, whatever they queries they've got, you're so confident in the way that you talk to them about it because you've been there, you've got the t-shirt, you know your business inside out, and you become a real valued authority in that particular marketplace. And the way that we can facilitate learning these products, we can do networking, we can do walk-ins, we can do cold calling, we can do marketing. All of this effort goes into all of these products and the way that we sell them, the website, landing pages in order to generate leads, leading all the way up to our cookbook. Our cookbook, again, is something that we're running another course on. I believe the cookbook it's up there with the most powerful tools in your arsenal when it comes to running your business and giving it a kickstart. If you put a cookbook in place right at the beginning of your business, then you know your success is virtually guaranteed from the start. So I'll briefly explain what the cookbook is. It's the terminology that we use for writing usually in a spreadsheet, a set of weekly activities that are to do with your sales and marketing that you commit to 100%. You target them, and then you make notes of them as you're going along in order to achieve success. So examples of a cookbook thing would be how many referrals you get a week, how many networking events you attend, how many cold calls you make, how many walk-ins you do. Again, this is specifically designed around a Bland Partners model, marketing business. However, you know, this applies to any new business. You need to have a set of actions that you commit to each week, that you're accountable to, that you know are going to lead to success. So give that a lot of thought, and again, we'll be running further webinars that go into a lot more detail on the cookbook later on this year. So in terms of learning your products, think about your story. So what we often say is that, you know, if you use your story, because you're unique, as is your story, when you're engaging people about your business, use it to its benefit. People like to hear stories. And when any business owner starts their own business, they've got a unique story. And I love hearing the stories of our partners and the people that I meet with mentoring and coaching, because each one is unique and everybody's traveled to the place where they start their own business in a different way. Use that in your business and use it to be endearing and engage yourself with your potential prospects. And weave that then into your pitch. And the pitch is the way that you present your products and service and the way that you detail that to your potential prospect. We have a resource center with Bland Partners, which is a collection of all the things over the years that Gareth and I have put together, which we found useful and helpful, particularly in the marketing industry, marketing and sales and direct sales. And we've got a huge collection of resources down our resource center. So for Bland Partners, make sure you dive into that resource center and use it as a learning center. We also send out regular emails to partners as well, which is another fantastic way to get inspiration on a daily basis, all to do with sales and marketing and training. And then training courses. These days, there's so much information out there and knowledge to be had. YouTube is a fantastic resource. Webinars like this, we do in-house training as well with ourselves for our own partners. But just always be aware that you're always learning and you're always training. And when you're becoming an expert in your marketplace, constant training is key. I myself attend training courses regularly still, as well as having a mentor. Now, I've found over the years that having a mentor is one of the most powerful things that you can have in your business. I've actually got 2 mentors that I work with at the moment, and these are typically business people that have been in business for a long time, and they've seen a lot of things happen in their business life, and they've offered an awful lot of experience. And what I've found is over the years that a lot of people that have been in business and have got a lot of experience, they're really happy to share a bit of time with you once a month and help you and talk to you about your business and use it as a way to help you avoid some of the pitfalls that they may have may have found during life. So give that a go, and try and find a mentor. And like I say, I've often seen this, particularly when I'm coaching people. I'm saying, look, just approach somebody you might know that's been in business and ask them, would you mind just once a month spending a couple of hours with me over a cup of coffee, so I can just talk to you about my business, and you can offer your advice and potentially, pull me up on things, and poke me in the eye when I need to be poked in the eye and told what to do, and sort of, I often find that you'll get asked questions that can be sometimes uncomfortable, but it makes you accountable to somebody, and that is really, really valuable, especially for those of you who are working on your own in business. For those that you're setting up in business on your own, it can be a lonely place, and sharing that time with somebody who's been there and done it can be awesome, and one of the most productive things that you'll do. So let's move on back down to the mind map, and over to the right, and we've got your marketing. So one of the things on the cookbook that I often urge people to do is to spend time thinking about their marketing and diarise it. So to the extent that if you spent an hour a day every morning, first thing you do when you get up, for example, working on your marketing, saying, how am I going to gain more customers, and how am I going to sell more to my existing customers, and make that a behavior that you undertake to every day with a variety of different tools. It is one of the most powerful things that you'll do within your business. Because what I often find is, you take a look at this mind map, there's a lot of stuff to think about here. Nobody ever said running your own business was easy. There's lots of things that you have to think about and you have to do. And quite often, the marketing can be the one that gets left on the sidelines. When we talk about the products and services that we sell for Blam, the apps and websites, part of the reason that our service is so valuable is because of the fact that a lot of small business owners neglect the marketing element of their business. So don't be subject to that yourself, and make sure that your marketing behaviors are diarised, and make sure that you've got them in your cookbook, and that you actually make sure that you undertake those on a regular basis. Marketing can be all sorts of things. It can be flyers, roller banners, marketing material. It can be social media, email. It can be that there's a variety of different ways these days that we have to market, but just make sure that you commit to the tracks that you want to be accountable to. So moving over, we've got database. Now, I would urge everyone who starts up in business to check out CRMs. Now, a customer relationship manager is going to save you a hell of a lot of time, and it's going to be one of the most powerful tools in your business for helping you to save time and automate your marketing, automate your sales processes. Now, we've got our own CRM that some of you will no doubt already be using, the Blam CRM. And this tool is designed to help manage all your contacts, automate your email marketing, as well as provide you with a deal funnel to help track your prospects that convert into sales. We ourselves use it for our own business, and it's like having a couple of members of staff in that it helps automate a lot of our project management side of things as well. So as a tool, it is super powerful. But from a small business point of view, whether you use our CRM or whether you use one of the other more well-known CRMs that are out there, you must have a CRM. It's a vital part of managing your time and managing your contacts. So give that a try, because it means that as soon as you start uploading data, prospects, contacts, people that you need to engage with, you are tracking it through your CRM. So every conversation, every email, every phone call, every time somebody is contacted with, it is tracked through the CRM, and that builds your funnel. Now, whilst you're building that funnel, you're building that database, you need to make sure that everyone you know goes into that database. And Gareth's running a webinar a bit later on. I think it's next month that he's running it. It's called Leveraging Your Hot Prospects List. He's got a fantastic method of being able to build that database really quickly through referrals from people that you already know. And it's a really powerful way, because every relative, friend, your window cleaner, the people that you meet in the shops, people that you meet in the pub. All of these people know people that potentially need your products and services. And this is where referrals are absolutely key. So build up those referrals, get into the process of telling people your story, letting them know what you do, and asking who do you know that you think could be useful for me to speak to. A referral is a very, very powerful thing. And I guarantee that everybody that's listening to this that starts them in business has got an untapped database that they already know that they haven't spoken to, people that they're friendly with, people that they just happen to know. Everybody has to be reached out and touched. Like I said, start up in business, it's not an easy ride. There's lots to do, but we need to make sure we use every tool in the toolkit to be able to get that business up started and kick started and up and cooking as soon as possible. Phone calls are obviously key. Speaking to somebody on the phone is very personable, but let's follow it up with an email. Let's connect with them on social media. All of this can be tracked through the database and through these foundations. And then finally, we've got your systems. Now, coming from a creative background myself, this might naturally be the thing that is my strength, but I realise how vital it is. Now, whenever I set up a new business, the systems is something that I spend a lot of time on managing, because if you've got a business and it starts to grow quickly because you're doing all of these other behaviours, you want to make sure that the systems don't fall over when you start getting the work in. So what this means is you need to have a system. If you sign up a new customer, what is the process? What do they get? How do they get tracked? What contact do they get? How do you get their bank details? Or how do they get your bank details? How do you ask for the money? How is all this process? What's your customer care policy? How do you track their jobs? Do you give them job numbers? And all the detail that goes with this. Who's the point of contact? What systems have you got in place? What is your admin process? Who does your bookkeeping? Who does the accounts? Are you going to do it yourself? What system are you going to use for the accounting? So there's a lot to think about here that you need to get right, because if your business starts taking off quickly, you want to make sure you've got a robust system behind you that's going to make sure that you don't end up getting found out or bogged down with things that you hadn't thought about. So my view is that we always start by thinking about your business as if it's much bigger than it is, so that when you put the systems in place, they are scalable. So whether your vision is to be a one-man band all of your life, or you've got a vision to build a business with thousands of employees, think about the way that your systems are going to grow and how scalable they can be. And that's going to save you a lot of headaches when you're trying to juggle everything in the early days, and when you're trying to work really hard to get the balance between your sales, your learning, your marketing, your appointment generation, and everything that goes with it. Putting that system in place is absolutely key. So if we zoom out again, you'll see that covers the basics. Now, this may seem like a lot to take in, and it's a short presentation to give you a quick overview of how we go about setting up a small business, and the things that we need to think about. We do a much more in-detail course than this, which is a day-long course that we run at the offices in the Midlands in the UK. So if you stay online, at the end of this presentation, we'll get some dates to you for that, to see if you want to come and work with us to try and get a lot of this panned down in more detail for your particular business. But before you go, let's just have a quick look at the steps to success that I've made a note of here to help you remind you of what you need to think about before you take action. So number one is know your product, know your pitch, know your niche, know your business, know your strengths, because knowledge is power. And understanding your business and knowing your business gives you so much confidence. So never stop learning and always keep that knowledge coming. We work in a world now where the technology that we use, particularly in the marketing side of things, is always changing. So never stop learning, and just get to know your product. And number two is build your website, build your pipeline, build your product list, and build your referrals. So always keep building your business and always keep building your pipeline. Your website is the first point of contact often for many people that are checking you out. So keep that website up to date and keep on building it. Build your pipeline. So never stop building up that pipeline of potential prospects for your business, which is key to actually filtering through and turning into customers. And build your product list. Think about what it is you can sell. What are your upsells? If you sold one thing to somebody, what else would they want to buy from you? And build your referrals. Always keep asking people, who do you know that would potentially like my product or service? Number 3 is practice. Practice your pitch. Practice using your website. Practice your close and practice what you preach. So remember what I said about the marketing and do your marketing every day. That's what a lot of the Bland partners would certainly be telling their customers they should be doing. So make sure you practice what you preach and practice your pitch. Be expert at telling people what you do and understanding your business. And from Bland partners' point of view, practice your website. So by using your website, updating it yourself and changing the content and getting familiar with it and finding out what a fantastic product it is, that gives you loads of confidence when you're speaking to customers because you know that you're selling them a real quality product. Number 4, create a business niche. Create a plan, create your products and create your future. Remember, we thought about the vision right at the beginning. That's why we're doing it. We want that vision. We want that future. And we've got to create our business plan to get there by selling the products and using a niche to help that sale more effective. Number 5, the cookbook. Cookbook development. Define the recipe of actions that will lead to success. So that cookbook is imperative that you've got weekly behaviors that you commit to that you know are going to lead to getting more customers and more sales. So commit to that cookbook and keep testing and tweaking it until you get the right recipe that's going to make you successful. And then number 6 is target. So target your income, target your goals, target your vision for your business. So make sure you target the goals that you want to achieve, whether they be weekly, monthly, quarterly, every 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years. What are your targets? Make yourself accountable to your goals and targets. If you haven't got a target, then I guarantee you're going to miss it. Number 7, implement. Action gets results, and implementing these steps will lead to you achieving your goals. You've got to take action, guys. There's a lot to take in here with this when you're setting up your own business, as you can see with this mind map. But none of this is going to happen unless you take action. So you've got to be accountable to your targets and your goals. You must take action. It's easy to become paralyzed when you get overwhelmed with the amount of things that you need to do when you're running your business. Break it down into baby steps in the way that this has been done with the mind map. Take each step at a time. Set a target. Achieve your goals. Number 8, refine. Refine your processes, refine your cookbook, refine your marketing to help define your business model. We're always learning, guys, and we're always refining. We're always trying to be better than we were the day before. And we live in a world where, as always has been the case, the business model that works today doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work tomorrow. So you've always got to keep refining, and you've always got to keep working towards getting those goals and improving your business and improving your model. So that sums up the mind map that I've put together for us for today. Ed's going to be online now, hanging around to answer any of your questions. We've got a deal coming up as well for any of you that want to come on this as a full-day course, which I'll make sure it really makes it worth your while if you do come along to the course. But really look forward to meeting you in person. I run the course myself. I really enjoy these kind of courses, I have to admit. I've set up a lot of businesses, and you can walk away at the end of the day when you do the full course knowing that you've got a really good foundation in place that you can take action on straight away. So I hope you've enjoyed the webinar, guys, and hope you'll join me on the next one in the next couple of weeks. And in the meantime, good luck with setting up your business. I look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.